In this video, we buy the new Genesis Vision Gran Turismo car. What car can have the LFA engine put inside of it, the best engine of all time, and a BOP change for Group 3, but not Group 4? Hello everyone and welcome to another patch video in Gran Turismo 7. First up, where to buy the new cars. And if you're not subscribed already, you've got to do that as well. We head to Asia Pacific for this one. We head to Suzuki. And what we're looking for here is a Jimny. Yes, a Jimny. Now, I do actually like these cars in real life. A bit of a weird one for Gran Turismo 7, but you can see it there. 18,000 credits. So a very cheap car in the grand scheme of it. Plenty of colours to choose from, as you can see right here. And as we go through those, you've got jungle green there. That's very good indeed. Well, let's actually have a listen to how the car sounds, and then I'll have a look at it a bit more. Yes, the Suzuki Jimny. I'm assuming it's going to rival the Willys Jeep, essentially, and you can have a couple of races with those. But it's not the greatest car in the world to add to this game. But of course, it is a car collection game, which is why it has been added. Next up, and only 2 cars, even though they said 3, it's 2 cars, folks. As we go back in to the dealership then, where do you find this one? Once again, you go to Asia Pacific, and we're looking at Genesis. Yes, Genesis for this one. As we go to that showroom, and you can see it right there, it's the Genesis X Gran Berlinetta VGT concept. 1 million credits for this one. A very nice magma orange there for you as well. Let's have a listen to how it sounds. Yeah, definitely sounds good there. Designed by Genesis. You can see that down in the bottom right-hand side. And it is a good-looking car, to be honest with you. You will get to use this immediately as well, as the latest time trial is using this car at Monza. And of course, that time trial guide will come out in a separate video later today, hopefully. Otherwise, it'll be early tomorrow, Friday morning, of course. But you can see there the rear of that car. It looks very nice indeed. Very classic shapes, but very futuristic shapes at the same time. Very good combination as well. Now, in terms of the other Vision Gran Turismo car, the Bulgari, I want to say, we're going to talk about that at the end of this video because that is a bit of a kick in the teeth, in my opinion. Next up then, what we will look at in terms of content that you can access are the new menu books. Yes, we've got new menu books here. And essentially, in terms of the extra menus, scroll down to the bottom, we have Nissan Motorsports there, so some of the classic race cars there in terms of the silhouette, the R92 CP, and the Super GT car, the Nissan GTR GT599 car. You get a 6-star roulette ticket. You can see that one there for you. And of course, there is a second menu book as well. So let's jump out of this one right now. There we go. And you can see I've already got this one. It's Dodge. So we've got the Dodge Charger RT 426 Hemi. We've got the Dodge Viper GTS. And then we've got the Dodge Challenger SRT Demon there. And again, 5-star roulette ticket for this one. So a 6 and a 5-star for you there. A chance of unlocking some more rewards. So hopefully an invitation if you're still waiting for an invitation. Who knows? Now, we do have a new menu book as well, the Jimny Cup, if you do want to check that out. But I wanted to jump straight to engine swaps here. I've gone into the Alphard because if you look down at the bottom there, in terms of engine swaps, your eyes are not deceiving you. Yes, that is right. That is a Lexus LFA engine for the Alphard. Yes, there it is, folks. There it is. Look at that. 850,000 credits. Very expensive, but an LFA engine in the Alphard. I hope they have a daily race with this engine swap. It'd be kind of cool, to be honest, I imagine. Now, in terms of the engine swaps available to you there, you got the Dodge Charger, the Ford Raptor, the Civic there. That's an interesting one. That goes up to like 800 horsepower with the engine change. Some significant engine changes there for those that do want to do it. The Toyota Supra is down at the bottom, both years. But yeah, the Alphard and the LFA engine. I thought that was the biggest one, so I thought I'd show you that on screen. A very expensive one, but I think quite a fun and good one as well that they've introduced there. Next up then, there has been a massive BOP change in Group 3. Not Group 4. And sorry, it's on slow-mo this. This is the only way I could capture this. But this is a car profile I had already filmed. This was this week's car profile. So 520 brake horsepower, 1,315 kilograms in terms of weight. Okay. Now, I've chose the RCZ because, as I say, I filmed it for this week. It was due out tomorrow. I mean, I'm going to have to refilm this tonight, and maybe it'll come out tomorrow, maybe it'll be Saturday, I'm not too sure. But here is the new BOP then. So we jump to the new BOP here, and it's 1,320 kilograms. So it's gained 5 kilograms. Now, some cars have been nerfed, some haven't. There's a mixture of all sorts of cars in there. You should have a list on screen for you because I'm just waiting for that list to be completed right now. But then I know the Genesis has been nerfed. That's a good nerf in my opinion. The Mazda Vision Gran Turismo car in Group 3 hasn't been changed. Group 4 has not been touched by the looks of it. So the Mazda 3 is still dominant as ever. Quite a frustrating bit of information, that one, I imagine, for a lot of you. I don't like the fact that it's only been Group 3 because that affects GT1 and not Group 4 because that affects the majority of players who play online in Gran Turismo. Now, in terms of the Nations Cup, for those interested in doing the Nations Cup, it is in the Tidgney. You can see that down in the bottom left-hand side. We're on snow tyres because we're at Lake Louise Short Circuit. Now, in terms of this combination, just to give you a bit of feedback on this one, it's not going to be the fastest thing in the world, this one. There's going to be probably lots of side-by-side action, 3, 4, 5 wide even, but it's going to be very hard to overtake on this one because everyone's just going to be going so slow and trying to take the most inside line because that is the quickest way to race this Tidgney. So that is the update in a nutshell. Not too much in terms of content, but let's get on to my overall thoughts and feelings here regarding that third car, the Bulgari Vision Gran Turismo car. Now, to limit this to the people who have only got the watch is a bit of kick in the teeth, in my opinion. Let me explain. There is a cost of living crisis at the moment, and the large portion of Gran Turismo players can't afford that watch. You know, it's £4,500. Now, you could argue that most people won't use it, but some people still want to use it. There's only 3 cars in the update. We can only use 2 of them. The fact that it's limited to those that can afford it generates this class system that you jump into games to avoid. You know, you have the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. You have that in society even now. And the whole idea is that you don't want that. You want everybody to have an even shot at life. Suddenly we're getting that in our video games. It's something I personally dislike, and I'd want to see that go immediately. I personally would rather pay for a massive update on Gran Turismo where we get amazing new race cars, etc., and not have this issue with certain people who can afford certain things can get stuff first before other people. It's not my cup of tea in the slightest. Everybody should have the same opportunities to drive the cars they want to drive. It's a similar issue in the Legendary Dealership, which I've talked about before, of course, where you have to wait for your car to turn up. Similar to the car invitation as well, you have to wait for an invitation. There's just limitations here that there doesn't need to be. And again, I realise that most people would not use this car, but there are still some people who want to use it, who now can't use it and have to wait an additional month, even though it was announced it was coming in this patch originally. Now, in addition to that, the Group 3 and Group 4 BOP updates. In fact, Group 3 has been done, Group 4 hasn't. That's significant as well, in my opinion. The game should not just be catering for the top 0.1%, 1%, whatever it might be. Lots of people are in the GT2 and GT3 leagues. If Group 4 is not updated soon, that whole class is just destroyed. That Mazda 3 needs changing immediately. The fact it hasn't been changed is concerning, in my opinion. Even if you just nerf that car, even the tiniest amount, it will then present a good opportunity for other cars to come to fruition and then be able to race in Group 4. That Mazda 3 needs changing and changing fast. It's very, very hard to see it not being changed, but other cars being changed, like the Peugeot RCZ, the Group 3 car. That's been changed. That wasn't a leader on my car profiles by any stretch of the imagination. It was a nice car to drive. It was very stable in the grand scheme of it. It's probably been made more unstable now with the additional weight and slower. And it wasn't top on any of the leaderboards, I'll tell you that much for now. So it is going to go down. I'll talk about that more in the car profile, though, of course. That, though, is the update in a nutshell. Not a lot in the update. Of course, it's free, so thank you for Gran Turismo for providing continuous free content, but they do need to look at that limitation because you can afford it or not afford it. I really don't like that system. Anyway, that's going to be it for me, folks. A big, big thank you, as always, for watching this video, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.